everyone, it's Di here from Diane, and I know this card is sort of sitting up like this, but I'm just putting up like this so you can have a look. This is called a Tower Pinwheel card, and it does lie flat to go into a 6x6 envelope. So it is 6x6. Okay, but it does stand up really lovely, and it's so easy to make. I have done a couple of others. I will show you them before we get started. I've done a 6x6 one that looks like this, but this is my prototype. I'm not overly keen on that. It's, I don't know, it just looks like a spiky tree to me. So this was just a prototype to see how it will go at a 6x6. But I do have an 8x6 one here, which looks a lot better. I think this would look, oh, it's upside down. I think that would look really nice as a Christmas card. This colouring really makes it look Christmassy, but it is a birthday card that I've made. But yeah, it does lie flat. You would have to have a special envelope for something like that. But if you would like me to show you how to make this one, please just leave me a comment in the box down below here, and I will do a tutorial on this one. Write the tutorial and I'll do a video on it. But we are actually going to do this one today. Now I'm going to be using everything I'm using today, except for the colour of the card is actually retired, so I can't. I'm just using what I've got because I'm actually showing you the technique rather than anything else. But in my So Sentimental set, I'm going to be using the second size of these, which these are actually still available. So they're called Stitch So Sweetly, I think that's what it's called. Let me just double check that. Yes, Stitch So Sweetly. These dies are still available. The stamp set isn't. So I'm going to use the second size in that for my happy birthday. Oops, move that card out of the way. I'm going to use It's Your Day, Enjoy It out of the Happiest of Birthdays. Actually, I think this is still available too. I'm not 100% on that. Don't quote me on that one. But I think that one might be still available. I'm going to use this set called Here's a Card. And we're going to use the Happy Birthday off of that one. And then I'm going to use the dies out of the Delicate Petals. And I'm using the... I thought there was a piece of something across there. We're going to use this die and this die here to make our flowers, which will look the same as the ones on the front of this card here. So they will look the same as that, but obviously in a different colour. So that's what we're doing. Now I've made two of my flowers already. This is Blushing Bride and Pool Party, and we're going to make one more flower together so you can see how that goes together. I've done a lot of the gluing of stuff together because there's just so much stuff that's repetitive. So let me tell you what you need. You need a piece of card that measures 7 inches by 6 inches. And then you will need 4 layers. Now I've done a lot of the layering here. 4 panels that measure, why have I got 5 panels here? I don't know. I must have, oh no, that's correct, sorry. So you'll need 3 panels like this that measure 3 inches by 6 inches. They go with that. That's why I was getting muddled up. Sorry about that. So there's 3. So this piece is 7 by 6, and these are 3 by 6. Then you're going to need your first layer, which is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. You're going to need 4 of those. Now I've already stuck 2 lots together. I'm going to do the other 2 because one's going to be our writing panel. So our writing panel and our other piece of designer series paper will be 5.5 by 2.5. So you're going to need 3 of the designer series paper and 1 in white. You're going to need 4 panels that measure 2 and what am I saying? Can't even read my own writing now. 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you will need 4 of those, and I've already stuck 3 lots together. And the other one is 5.5 by 1.5. You're going to need your scrap pieces to make your flowers and for your sentiment on the front, which I've already done, but I've got a piece of card here. So you know, all you need is a piece of card that measures about 2.5 by 1.5, and you will get your sentiment out of that. So I won't go through sticking, you know, stamping that with you, but we will go through everything else. So let me bring in my scoreboard. And we're going to score our card on the 7-inch side, the long side, and we're going to score this at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. Okay, so we get started 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that's all the scoring we're going to do. So we're now going to bring in our, fold all our score lines and burnish them all down nicely. And you'll see that this actually folds right around into a nice square centerpiece like so. So we're going to pop our glue on this side here, which is the first of the 1-inch pieces. Make sure we get it up against the edge on the folded edge, and we're going to lay this down flat. No, we're not. We're going to bring it down that way and put it down nice and neatly so it goes up against the last of the score lines, and we can push that down, and then we can push that down nice and flat like so. That way you know that that is nice and tucked in there, nice and tightly both ends. So that is the shape of our card to start off with. Now with our other panels, we're going to pop all our other panels onto the other 3 sides. So we're going to start here, and we're going to pop glue on this one here, on this 1-inch piece of the tower. And we're going to bring in our piece of card, and we're going to butt it up against the edge of the last piece of card here. You can see, and making sure that it's nice and flat on both sides, and we can push that down then and make sure that's on there nice and tight. So we've now got 2 of them, and I can't do it any other way except for showing you to do this way. Now I've got to lay this flat again. So we're going to pop our glue on the next section, and we're going to butt this piece up against this edge again, and making sure that it's flush top and bottom as well, and then we can push that down nice and tightly like we did the others. We've done 3 out of the 4 sides, so we've got 1 more side to do, and I can then we have the main part of our card already done. So this is the hardest one, because you're going to have to hold it in your hand to make sure you butt it up against that edge. Once you've got it butted up against that folded edge there of the others, just make sure, that's why it's good to use wet glue. You've got the wiggle room to make sure that it's nice and even top and bottom. And then we can then push that down nice and hard like so. And we have then got our main part of our card. So that's our design. We're now going to lay this down flat, and we want to have, depending on which way I want mine this way, because a card normally opens this way. So I just think it looks better this way, but that's just me. So, alright, so we're going to put on our panels. So we're going to leave our writing panel, and we're going to glue our panels together, which we've got 2 already done, and our last one here, which is our 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, and our 5.5 by 2.5 pieces. Now I'm using silver foil, and I'm using this beautiful paper that is retired from Stampin' Up, but I still have some, and I'm only showing you the technique, so there is no reason for me not to use this. And we're going to then glue these onto our 3 panels. Now when we do our 3 panels, we're going to do our middle panel here, which is in the center of this card. We're going to turn it one and do the next panel. In the center. And then we're going to turn it once more and do the next panel in the center here. So that the last panel, when we turn it one more, will now be the back of the card. So this is now the front of the card, and this is the back of the card. Alright, so then we're going to glue our 4 panels of our small bits together, which are the 1 3/4 by 5 3/4 and 5 1/2 by 1 1/2. Now if you want to make them like not match the same colour, that's fine. I just thought that this pattern was so pretty, I wanted to use it on all of them. So we're going to pop these on all 4 of the other panels. If you have a directional pattern, make sure you get your direction the correct way up. Luckily mine is not directional here, so and the last panel on this one. Oops. Now if you have a non-directional pattern, this is where you need to make sure, a directional pattern, you need to make sure that you have your writing panel up the correct way. With a non-directional panel like this, colour like this, that's not sticking down, that one, there we go, it doesn't really matter. So let's pop this on one side and we will do our stamping on here, which is just the "It's Your Day" or something like that. I can't remember what it says now. "It's your day, enjoy it." And I'm stamping it with this beautiful Bermuda Bay ink, and because this is not a very big panel, I'm actually putting it on an angle. So just got to wait a few seconds for that to dry. It looks, because I had to re-ink my pad. Okay, and then we're going to glue that onto our other layer, silver layer. Oops. And then we're going to glue this onto our layer at the back where we have nothing. And as I say, if you have a layer, a designer series paper that has a direction on it, this is where you need to make sure that you put this layer on the correct way up. So believe it or not, this is a very quick card. So that's our card. That's our main part of our card. So I've got to make sure that it's got this up the correct way now. So if I put it Make sure it's right there and flat it there, then I can lay it flat on this side here. So pop that here, and we're going to make up our last flower, which I have 2 of the in the pink, petal pink, and 2 in the pool party, and I'm just going to glue these together like so, offsetting them. On both of them. And then I'm going to glue the 2 offset pieces together like so. Now these are easy to match up in the middle because they've got a hole right through the middle. Pop the lid on the glue, and I'm going to just bring in my pad here because I want to give them flowers a bit of dimension like I have that one. So I'm just going to press in the middle just to give that a bit of dimension. And I've got a clear gem to go on the centre of that flower like so. Now I have somewhere around here, I've got my dimensions, so I just need some dimensions on my sentiment and on the back of each of my flowers. And I will put my sentiment on the front first so that I've got an idea where I'm going to put my flowers. Oops, stuck to my finger. So we're going to bring this in, and I like it on a bit of an angle. So now you want to make sure that it doesn't go past here for when you are standing it too much, otherwise it can actually bend them, but you can see they don't go past there. So I'm going to put a couple more, because you can put things in 2s, 3s or 5s look best, I think. So I'm going to put a couple more of these gems on here. Oh, I am if it wants to come with me. So where did it go? There it goes. And that's our card for today. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's card. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's sturdy. It fits in a 6 by 6 inch envelope, and it just sits up absolutely gorgeous. So if you would like the written tutorial for this card, please just head over to my Facebook group called Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. You will find the link below, and you can pick up the written tutorial for this card. It's free to join, so join in the fun, and we'd love to see your creations of this card, because you can upload your version of this card onto that site. So I look forward to seeing you, and if you have enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment on whether you would like me to show you how to make this card, because if so, I will write a tutorial and do a video on it for you. If not, if I don't hear from you, then I won't. Okay, so that's our card for this week, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.